Do you believe in miracles? We got Fizzle in the house. Fizzle, what's good, man? Fizzle, glad to have you here.
Let's go. This the South Harmon Podcast. Glad you here today. Hit that Patreon link if you here to stay. Dynasty best ball, that's my favorite way. 40 chess trade show, let's make a trade today or check a AMA. You know Adam at the ATM. Mike always in the building, he gon' stay with him. They gon' start every show off with their own trade. Fantasy's a big ocean, they made their own wave. Make sure you tapping in Tuesdays and Saturdays. Tuesday night, Saturday morning, ain't no better way. Hit that notification bell when the news break. Go subscribe right now, don't get the news late. Destination Devy, that's the team. Dynasty Football, man, that's my favorite thing. I remember Biggie said it was all a dream. Now people watching on their phones and computer screens. Welcome to the team. Let's start the show.
What's good, everybody? Wednesday night AMA, and we did not mess up the intro this time.
Let's go.
Do you believe in miracles?
Yes. Let's go. Yo, J Balls with the yo. What's going on, Mike? How we doing, man?
I'm doing great, buddy. I had a phenomenal weekend. Just got away a little bit.
Nice.
I know I just got back from vacation, but I just needed that, man. I went up to a cabin out in the middle of nowhere, and just got to relax, have a good time, and get eaten by fucking mosquitoes.
I was about to say, you were talking to me off air, and it sounds like we need Debro back, 'cause it sounds like you may have gotten rookie fever out at Cabin in the Woods.
I think that's yellow fever. I think dengue fever, like whatever the hell mosquitoes carry.
Was it cabin
malaria.
fever? Got malaria. He's got a whole bunch of bug bites. He's been trying not to itch them, but it's kind of like the quarterback horde. You can fight it for so long, but eventually they have to cave, and he's caved in to itching those bug bites. DB was good. We've got Koopa here. Ryan says, I just subscribed to the WoRP tool. Holy cow, that thing is amazing.
Let's go.
Shout out to Koopa on that. Koopa says, take your time with it. Koopa, what's going on? First time catching it live. Appreciate it, J Balls. I love the name, J Balls 24. Chris Gifford, Skippy saying hello. So, Mike, let's talk about the thumbnail. Let's try to jump into fun things as far as getting out of the dead period. Right now, you got to be careful because this tends to be conjecture BS. Right, a lot of this camp hype. They're building the offense to do this. This guy's looked unbelievable in camp. I just saw a Trey Lance one today, Mike, that said, I can't record it, but Trey Lance looks amazing, and I'm ready to buy back in. But
because I posted it Discord, that's why you saw it. I gotta see all this Brock Purdy shit. I'm posting all the Trey Lance hype I can get.
Actually, you did put that one in the Discord. You're right, in the big meet. Yeah.
Come on, pay attention, man. Wake up.
It's hard to pay attention when I see all the conjecture. Which one's real and which one's not, right? I heard Calvin Ridley's tearing it up. I hear all kinds of stuff right now.
I love it because football's back. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like it's not back. We haven't got to week 1 yet. That's like back. That's like holy shit.
That's totally different, right?
But it's back because we got dudes on the field and we got everybody on the field. I think all 32 teams are in training camp right now as of today. Like they've all reported going. We're ready. We're ramping it up. We got the Hall of Fame game in 2 weekends. 2 weekends, right?
Yep. Right before we come to, party.
Let's go. So we got that. It's back. The only thing is it's bittersweet because now I got to see all this bullshit. I don't know if you caught this one because there's so much shit on Twitter. There's so many reports. There's all this dog shit. It's mustard shit between the ears, like the old Wolf of Wall Street thing. Mustard shit, just high frequency. Like that's what it is. But it's like I saw one where it was Rashad Penny getting the first carry of Eagles camp. Like, who the fuck cares? Who cares?
Do you
who
get
fucking cares?
Well, do you get any fantasy points for that? Is my question.
I did not. I checked my one team that has Rashad Penny on it.
You don't do any camp points? Come on, Mike.
I didn't get any first carry of camp. I don't know why. I'm sorry.
You see, Mike, that's where we don't understand, because Sleeper doesn't let you get that carried away. On MFL, you could probably put it in all the customizable, the stuff they have. You could do the training camp points, right? Ewok, Ryan, appreciate you hopping in. He puts Houday. There's just, Ryan, understand, there's no way on this stream, since I control it. Like, if Mike was controlling it, he'd probably put it up. No chance the Houday is going to ever get on there. But appreciate you hopping in. We have Pass. Mr. Wonderful's here. Fizzle is in the building. Fizzle, appreciate you. So Mike, let me ask you, of the people that we're seeing, new places, new faces, some stuff to buy into. There's a lot of hype. I saw a couple videos. It really looked like more of a bad throw by Rodgers, but that Wilson went up, outrageous catch. The toe drag was insane.
Toe drag swag, baby. Toe drag swag.
The body control on that was outrageous. Like, you can't even. It's hard to even understand what he did there. But are there some people you're really excited about, or looking at, or buying into the hype right now? You know, guys like Ridley moving seams, Rodgers moving seams, anyone's like that.
I'm trying, because I just told you guys how much I fucking hate it, and I think most of it's a joke. But there are some good nuggets, man, and there's some people out there who do really good work, and they will tell you stuff before it actually happens. It's extremely hard to sift through the shit. One of the best ones I've seen do it is like Eric Vanek, if you remember. I think he did it last year on America's Game. I know he does stuff for Scott Connor on his Dynasty and Chill Patreon. Like, he puts a bunch of real good stuff together on like camp hype and beat reporter pieces and that kind of stuff. The ones that really interested me, you had the Aaron Rodgers thing. The Calvin Ridley did look fucking phenomenal running that route. And then he had one like over the head catch, like one ridiculous one. I was like, damn, this dude looked like he did not, I know he was suspended for a year, but it looks like he did not, just sit around and eat fucking Cheetos like I would have. This guy was actually putting in some work.
He didn't go Lenny Fournette on it, right?
No. He's not Cheeseburger Lenny or Eddie Lacy. Cheeseburger Eddie too.
No, not Eddie Lacy.
But he looked good. And the one that I've been keeping my eye on, the progression of Justin Fields on how he connects with DJ Moore. And so far, don't shoot the messenger. Justin Fields to DJ Moore is looking real fucking good. It's looking real good, and I'm trying to relax.
Trying to contain yourself.
I'm trying to. The only thing I tweeted out or really threw in people's face is just the Trey Lance thing, because I take all the shit all the time, right? It keeps piling on. So, when I see a tweet about how dynamite Trey Lance is and how elite he looks in practice and he's killing it, destroying folks, I got to put that back out.
Okay, here's one.
There's one.
This one, I'll say this about your boy Laporta. I have not heard a single word of negativity at all. Not one. Not any type of negative. It's all hype. Not saying that he doesn't look good. I actually haven't seen that many clips. I've just seen a lot of praise, but
yes.
Yeah, I mean, believe me, I've been wanting Laporta ever since Mike's been, glowingly reviewing this guy for 2 years now. Yes. But it just, I don't know. The problem is with him, the value right now makes you feel like you should be able to tier up to something like elite, and I just don't think that's really going to happen. If you can, sure, why the hell not?
The drum beat is getting strong, right? Keep Trade Cuts got him up to tight end 9. I know I told you to sell him.
What?
I know I told you to sell him when he was at tight end 10. Like, we bumped up another spot.
I feel like we've had this discussion how many times, the tier up off these rookies, right? But this is even, 9? Come on.
There's 3 tight ends that you could make the case for are hard to obtain, like 3. And there's only 3 in my mind. It's Travis Kelce, because if somebody's got him on a contender, like you got to come correct to get Travis Kelce off their roster. Mark Andrews for a lot of people, which I understand. And Kyle Pitts, because he's still holding some of that youthful dynasty value, and we still remember how good he was his rookie year. Last year was not so good. Outside of that, Adam, I don't care if it's TJ Hawkinson, George Kittle, Pat Freiermuth, Dallas Goedert, David Njoku, insert fucking tight end, Darren Waller. Doesn't matter. Those guys are all easily obtainable and interchangeable, in my opinion. They're just pick your flavor, right? I've seen some Pat Freiermuth hype. I've seen some people hyping him up too. Throw his name into the bucket. This is where, like, if Sam Laporta's in this range as a rookie, which historically hard to produce at a tight end. I know I just mentioned Kyle Pitts, but that's kind of the outlier. If he's already in that range, like, as much as I love him and I'm going to put his ass on the wall, like, the next time you make me one of these dope-ass canvases, like, it better have Sammy Laporta on it.
We might as well, we almost should just remix it with Sammy Laporta in there, right?
But as much as I love him, and I've been the guy, like, beating the drum, I said we and Ray had an interaction on Twitter today.
I saw that.
He's like giving me props for it. And I'm like, I can't even revel in it because the hype went too fast. And now I'm at the point the dynasty mindset of me goes, I know it's my guy, but, like, I got to sell. Like, I got to sell. You want to give me an Njoku straight up or an Njoku plus or Pat Freiermuth plus or a Dallas Goedert or, like, one of these guys who's in the similar range? I'll let you make the bet on the rookie. I'll take the guy with the proven production. If you can tear up, like, is it really tearing up if you go, like, as hard as this drum beating? Like, are you tearing up? Can you tear up with Sammy Laporta to Mark Andrews, Kyle Pitts, Travis Kelce? Like, can you do that? Is that feasible at this point? Or do we need another couple weeks of this?
No, this is a good discussion. I think let's just talk about Sam Laporta and let's talk about realistically what you can and can't get done in your leagues and what you should and shouldn't be doing personally, in my opinion, right? Now, Mike, let's talk about it. Can you do it? Maybe. What does that look like, though? Like, what do you think it's going to cost realistically when you throw your Laporta in there? I'm going to venture to say it's still too much.
It's like a first.
A first to start the conversation off, probably, right?
Yeah.
No one's letting you go from Sammy Laporta with a second or some other piece to no. It's not happening.
I don't know that. You don't know that.
I do for those two especially, and for Pitts, no. Now to the point you're making, see, here's I think why this is good conversation.
What about the other guy? Did you put Sammy Laporta in a second and get Hawkinson?
No, here's where I think actually. So in my mind, right, if you really, really believe, like, because here's the thing you got to think about with Laporta. What is he really going to become this year? And period. Like, you're basically taking this pick that you made and the floating value and using a first. Who's not sending a first for Kelce or Andrews? Like, if it's just Laporta and a first, I could make the case to go ahead and do that. Now, when you start getting crazy past there, I probably wouldn't do it. But let's talk about the other end. I think this is where, to me, This is the type of thing that you should be doing with rookies over and over, and this is kind of the rookie tight end cheat code I talk about. So let's go back to the dynasty rankings here. Just think about this. So you got Kincaid right now as tight end 5. Just think about that. It's TJ Hawkinson at 4, and then it's Kincaid. So if I can go from Kincaid to Kittle and get a plus, what are we doing? Yeah. If I can get a second back and have Kittle, I'm taking that. If you have Laporta, let's say you can go down to Njoku and get a plus, I'm doing that. See, because all I'm probably looking to do is realistically, if I can't go up to those guys, is just net extra value and stay in this range, which is not necessarily fully replaceable, but is not a positional advantage either. I'm staying in that same range and I'm netting a value. So I'm either looking truthfully to go to one of these older, not as sexy names, pick up an additional asset, or seeing if I can go all the way to the big boy table. I think those are the two plays I'm really looking to do with that. Like, could you go to the opposite thing like you're talking about? Could you send a second with a Laporta to TJ Hawkinson? Like, you could do that. For me, though, I think I'd rather do the extreme in one way or the other.
How about this, though? Let's also think about it, too. If you got Sam Laporta, there's one group of people that are absolutely killing it, and if you don't want to make a move, don't make a fucking move, man. Like, I think it's pertinent that you probably at least explore, but you don't have to. And I know people give me shit for this all the time. Like, I've had discussions in our Discord fighting people. Pre-NFL drafts, Adam.
Okay, all right.
Pre-NFL drafts. Pre-NFL rookie drafts.
Yep.
There's some people who absolutely fucking hate him. And this is one of the reasons I love him, because if you had a pre-NFL rookie draft, besides the shit leagues or if you followed us where we're on here and I'm like, I'm having to beg Adam. I'm having to beg Adam to take a look at Sam Laporta. I'm having to beg Ray, the Devy guy, to take a look at Sam Laporta. Like, I got to put a resume together for this guy before you'll even look at him. If you did it before outside of shit leagues, and I didn't believe it until I saw it. Like, JB had a pre-NFL rookie draft. Jordan Backus from Destination W had a pre-NFL where Sam Laporta went fucking undrafted. undrafted. He picked him up on waivers because he knew, right? But in like the shit leagues, even in the shit leagues.
Come on, bro. Really?
In the shit leagues, he was a back-end third-round rookie pick. Think about that. That's the pick you hit to where we are now without him even playing a down. If you don't trade him, like you can't get a deal done that makes sense for you, or you just want to hold, you're grabbed on tight for the ride. Adam, what better way than if you spent like a mid to late third round pick on the guy who's getting all this hype now? You're like, nailed it, got it, done, no problems whatsoever. So that's like where I say, like, if you've already done it, like you had a pre-NFL rookie draft, bravo to you for having the cojones to listen to me. Even if you didn't listen to me, that's fine. But
so
you know what I mean?
Now, I love the gloating of that because that's actually very true. But now, would it be any different for you as how you approach it now moving forward if you got him at this more deflated cost?
Yeah, like I probably got him in a lot of these shit leagues that we track the ADP on the 13. Most of those selections are probably me. Like, not going to lie. I'm still exploring moving Sam Laporta if somebody wants to do that, by all means. Like, if I can go, this is just me, like 1-for-1 to an Njoku, a Goddard, a Freiermuth, or if I just have to add just a little piece, like I'll go ahead and do it, and I'll just diversify, de-risk myself. But listen, I'm probably going to end up with a lot of shares of them at the end of the year still, right? And I'm going to be the one holding on for the ride. It ain't the worst thing though. Like if I can't get it done, if I can't make that move, if I can't 40 chess it into something else, so what? So what? I held on to the 311. Sue me. So it's not going to be a detriment to my dynasty team because I didn't make every move completely perfect. So sure. Sam Laporta is an interesting one because I'm with you. I haven't seen any videos, but the reports day after day after day, and it's been since rookie minicamp. I thought the ones in rookie minicamp were just bullshit because it's a lot of guys who, let's be honest, are going to be playing on USFL rosters or not. Does the USFL still exist? No, it's the AAF that's gone. The USFL does exist. USFL or XFL
just had a championship,
rosters. Yeah, like trying to get back into the league, probably this time next year, like trying to get back on a camp roster because they invite a shit ton of people to these rookie mini camps. So when I saw those reports, I'm like, this is probably dudes who aren't actually in the league. Will be the first cuts in training camp if they even make it that far. So I wasn't buying into it too much, and now he's starting to get into training camp. This is, he's going against first team defense, second team defense, third team defense, giving them all the reps, and they're singing his praises. So it is it's nice to revel in it a little bit, but I felt like I didn't get long enough because the hype rocket just shot up too fast. So
I've actually already kind of liquidated in a range of like the tight end 10 to 12 where he was kind of at. I just went to check. SouthHarmonFF.com has partnered obviously with Sleepier. So went and checked it out on our website /Sleepier-manager. Go check that out. Two shares left, Mike. And guess what happened? If you're in shit 4 with me, or if you're in Fade the Fetal, go ahead and take a look at the trade block. Sammy Laporta is on the block. And at these prices, Mike.
How dare you?
At these prices, though, I want to talk about this. At these prices, I'm happy to miss completely, even in a portfolio of 30. And I'll tell you why.
How dare you?
I'll tell you why. What do we know about Kyle Pitts? Kyle Pitts had the best rookie tight end season that anyone can ever remember because nobody probably watching this saw Mike Ditka. If you did, kudos to you for watching us at this point because it's amazing to me that you watched that and then are still watching us do this. So, right. What do we know? He still right now has this inflated value, but production last year was awful. He's got the MCL. I mean, Jay Rich, if you listen to his stuff, he thinks the guy's worthless, not that good. Remove him now, okay? What do we know about guys like David Njoku, Evan Ingram, the older ones? Let's talk about go back in the past. What tends to happen, O.J. Howard, name whoever you want, they disappoint because it's very hard for rookies to do well early, and it's very hard for even second-year guys to do that well. So what happens is these prospects that we invest so much in, they disappoint enough to where now we have seen that disappointment, and it's because our expectations are too high. So now there's this deflated name, devalued. There's all these youthful guys that come in and mess everything up. Look at right now. You got Mayer, Laporta, and Kincaid in the top 10. Haven't played a snap in the NFL. So then now what happens? There's a resurgence later. Guys like Noah Fant, guys like I just named them. Njoku, Ingram, guys that are depreciated because we have slept on them for too long or got sick of their not producing. Then you can buy them back cheaper. Mike, I'm not buying in. Outside, like if you wanted to buy in on Pitts because this is just simply the greatest tight end asset you've ever seen, fine. I'm not buying in on these rookies anymore. You guys can have them. If I miss the one that's just ridiculous, I'll miss him. Like I'll fully miss him because I'm going to accrue all that value that I get out of these top 10 tight ends for no reason, and I'm going to put it elsewhere on my dynasty team. I'm not keeping any of them.
I get you, and we've mentioned David Njoku a handful of times, and I think maybe at this time last year, you probably heard me at some point like talking about like I'm just fucking done with David Njoku. Like no, I don't care they gave him a contract. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. Deshaun Watson's there. Like this guy's never done anything. Like he's never done anything for me to care. And then look what happened. He comes out. He has a pretty fantasy relevant season. Now he's elevated himself back in the top 10 and still highly attainable. Like you can go out and get him, and apparently you can get him for David Njoku plus for Sam Laporta. Who knew? Who knew?
So I mean, let's just Noah Fant. Athletic profile is almost you could look at it and honestly the athletic part you could say is even better than Pitts, right?
This is why I can't quit Noah Fant because of the David Njoku thing or the Evan Ingram thing.
I'm not telling you at this point you shouldn't be quitting Noah Fant. You should be keeping Noah Fant because his cost is ridiculously cheap. Yes. Yeah. But the point is Noah Fant was penciled in, right? Think back 2 years ago. You had what we're talking about with the discussion, Mike, of the high-end ones. So you had Kelsey, you had Andrews. This is before really Pitts was kind of in the mix because he was so young but hadn't done anything yet. But you had Kelsey, you had Andrews, you had Waller, you had Kittle. Who was the fifth one I'm missing there? There was somebody else.
I don't know.
Anyway, but there was those five guys, and then it was immediately like Fant is the next one we're putting in. It was essentially the Dalton Kincaid thing, right? We'd seen a year or two out of Fant. He's going to be the one. Now, look at what Fant does. I mean, he has a unbelievable profile. We're looking at Noah Fant on Keep Trade Cut. Mike is down to 26 tight end. And understand, Noah Fant's how old? He's 25. Like
talk about my two favorite tight ends being right next to each other in the ranks. Let's go. Let's go. Noah Fant, Juwan Johnson. I don't know what I do with myself. What do I do with my hands, Adam?
I don't know what to do with my hands. But the point is, I'm outside of a few scenarios where I can't trade them for the prices that are reflective of what I'm looking for, or this rookie craze. I'm looking to liquidate a lot of these young guys, and it's as a full process. And if I'm going to miss on some, there's going to be some young guys that do produce one day and do get into this mix. But I'm going to do enough of this over the time that even for those ones that hit, I will win out because I'm going to sell all the other ones that miss.
Flowosaurus. I didn't say Flowersaurus this time. I got you this time. I got you. Flowosaurus. Said Hawkinson, and that would have been the other one that was in that range.
There you go. That was it. Hawk was ahead of Fant. There you go. That's right.
Yeah. And he does say fuck tight ends.
That was it.
WoRP tells me fuck tight ends. Outside of Travis Kelce. Still love you, Travis.
Yeah, there's a handful of leagues.
If Taylor Swift won't date you, I'll date you.
There
my
you have it.
Will probably be okay with it.
Travis
Kelce is a beautiful man. Beautiful
man. So before this gets completely off the rails as far as topics and where we're going,
get to those questions.
Let's get to some questions, buddy. All right. Let's start at.
Hope you start them.
Got a trade offer in my inbox. Madison and Pittman for my Stevenson. Contender team. I could use Pittman as a third flex if you think Madison will give decent enough numbers compared to Stevenson. What's your thoughts on this, Mike?
Let's say if it was Pittman or Stevenson, depending on WoRP for my league, if it's half PPR, full PPR, that makes a world of difference. Absolutely does if I'm a contender. It changes everything, right? If it's half PPR, it's Ramondre, no question about it, over Michael Pittman. For me, half PPR, it really makes these dudes, or a full PPR, it really makes these dudes kind of equal. Like unless there's some like juice scoring to one position or the other, points per carry, all that kind of stuff. So Pittman, Stevenson, depending on your league format, it could be very even. I'm just going to assume PPR. You give me a Madison. I'm not even a Madison guy. I really don't give a shit about him. But this one, I'll take Madison and Pittman just in a vacuum with what I know. Assuming it's a PPR league, I value Pittman and Stevenson pretty close to each other. So I will take Madison and Pittman. Half PPR, just because I don't really like Madison. I'll probably side with the Rhino. I'll take the Rhino.
Yeah, I think for me here in a process play, I'm going to end up taking the Pittman side. And I don't know the specifics of your leagues here, John. So, for example, like, if it's lineup or best ball, how many starters, if it's half PPR, whatever it is, right? But let me just say why. Oh, he says full PPR down here. Okay, so full PPR, I don't know if it's best ball or lineup. But let me say this. Unless we're talking a lineup league where it's like a start 8 type thing, and you're basically like, okay, I just think that Ramondre Stevenson in this league, because it's so important to have that guy that could be a hammer, could be the Rhino in this league, right? I can understand that. Outside of that, though, like in lineup, I'll take having Madison. I'm not a big Madison guy, Mike. I think that's part of the problem with when we look at this trade. You and I both don't value Madison like the market does, I don't think, right now at all. But I'm just thinking about I'm getting back a running back that's a starter that I can probably either use in a different trade or I just have him as a replaceable level running back. And then I'm getting Pittman on top of it. So I'm getting a 2-for-1 in pieces that I want. I'm getting a receiver that is flex worthy. He probably also gets you to the conversation if you wanted to now tier up your Pittman to go get a difference maker at receiver in a lineup league. And in a best ball league, I'm absolutely taking the package because you're getting 2 starters for 1, in my opinion here. So it's Madison, I think, is the reason why it's a little tougher for us. We're not big Madison guys, but just in process, I have to take the package of the Pittman side here personally.
I don't understand the Madison thing, man. He's RB24 and he's over like Aaron Jones and Joe Mixon and Alvin Kamara, and it isn't like he's a rookie, right? It's a 25-year-old running back who's been a career backup his entire time, right? Could never unseat Dalvin Cook, and some of the metrics, yards per carry. I know that isn't the end all be all for running backs, but that's like his breakaway run rate. That's gotten worse the longer he's been in the league. It's like, if he can never unseat Dalvin Cook, like, do you think he's going to do what Dalvin Cook did or better? I don't get it. Like, why is he over Joe Mixon or Aaron Jones or Kamara or, like some of these other younger running backs? I don't understand it, but, hey, it kind of is what it is. So if I was getting this deal, to be honest, as soon as I made the trade, like, I'm also then shopping Madison.
Well, I think that's exactly what you do.
Can I go get Aaron Jones? Can I go get Alvin Kamara? Can I go get Joe Mixon?
Well, I think what you can do is probably find a way to either trade out for a running back, but I think personally for me, what you could probably do is liquidate Madison. Like right now, the Madison hype is so much that you might even be able to liquidate. So now it's like in a vacuum, like Pittman and Rhino are probably close, but we would lean based on the league and WoRP, right? But if you if you say here, you can have Pittman, which is close for you, but you'd rather have Rhino. And to make up the difference, I'll throw in you a second. Like, I've seen Madison go for seconds easy. So I've actually seen Madison go for first a couple times, which is just child's play. But if I can liquidate and get an extra asset now as kind of liquidity, I think that's another thing to do. But, yeah, if you could trade for a running back like that, kind of pawn him off laterally, I'm good with that too. Absolutely.
I like it.
All right, so, John, take that trade, man. This is a 4D chess thing too. You don't have to necessarily hold Madison for all time. All right, blitzed 80s, 12 teams, start 9, Superflex. It's a half point best ball. So I'm imagining it's a half point. It's just a half point PPR. It's a best ball league. So we got Metcalf, Evans, Reed, Penny, or Olave and Akers. I think Mike, this is tough. 4 for 2 is tough in best ball.
Even a start 9, like, you still want the depth, right? Like, start 9 in best ball isn't start 9 in the lineup. Vastly different. I know it's not, not as scary as start 13 where you really got to fill it.
Let's just do it in 2 trades. I think this is going to answer the question. Start 9, 12 team, Superflex, half PPR, and it's best ball. Would you rather have Reed and Penny or Akers?
Oh, that's easy. I'll take Cam Akers.
There you go. Okay, because then now Olave for Metcalf and Evans.
Oh, Metcalf and Evans, no question about it.
So like it's
not even close.
But here's where I would say, like, I definitely want Evans and Metcalf over Olave. But I think where I would take the 2 for 4 here, it's close. I could make the case in the 4 for 2, but because it's start 9, I think I actually take Olave and Akers. I pretty much know with Evans and like with Metcalf and Evans, right? These are 2 devalued guys. I'll take that 2 for 1 in a single trade every time. But here's what we know about a guy like Olave, especially in a start 9. like I pretty much always like he's a little more value proof there. Like I could pretty much always tier him down for 2 guys in the same replaceable range if things were to go wrong. Mm-hmm. So I think I'll take the 2 for 4.
I think for me the better way I break it down is I look at it and I go, Metcalf and Olave, wash, same tier for me. I prefer Olave, but Metcalf's not like a bad consolation prize. You know what I mean? That's why they're in the same tier for me. Evans and Akers half PPR. I would definitely take Akers over Evans. Mm-hmm. But I think if you threw me a Reed and a Penny and a best ball, I don't even like Rashad Penny. I started by talking shit about him. Jaden Reed could be nothing, could be something. Don't know. But I just want the multiple dart throws. I think those 3 guys for Cam Akers I would take in a best ball.
I think actually the final piece here, Blitz 80s, if you're still with us, shout out to Mind Warp. I think the reality of this, too, is going to be how many are we rostering? Because a lot of times these start 9s, Mike, we're only rostering like 25. That's where I'm a little more comfortable going to the 2. Because sometimes I don't think that people understand quite necessarily how much that bench depth is important. Because when you get to 25, you really can't even afford to have zeros at all. Like you can maybe afford 1 or 2 at most, right?
I think we only do like a handful, maybe 2.
Yeah.
And we didn't make them. We didn't make them, no shooting. But I only do a handful of like 25 bench best ball leagues, and I fucking hate both of them.
It's like literally there's 25 roster spots. Like that's tough, man. So I think the tiebreaker for me would be how many bench spots, like how many total roster spots you have. So if it's shallow, if it's shallow, I'll take the 2. If we're doing like 30, 35, I'll go ahead and take the 4.
Give me the 4. Yep, I'm with you on that one. That makes a world of difference too.
Yep. So had to walk through that a couple different ways, but we got to where we needed to go. All right. So let's see. What's the next question here? Talk about Lockett. Always seems to be criminally underrated. Do y'all agree? Yeah, he is.
Yes. No question about it.
I'll
be interested to see if he takes any kind of I'm not going to say like step back, right? Because they're probably going to be a little bit dip in production with they spending a first-round draft pick on a wide receiver like JSN. No question about it. But I'm interested to see like how much of it like comes down this year. Because I could also see where like Tyler Lockett just goes out and does Tyler Lockett things again. And man, he might only cost a third, a late second, like a Jaden Reed, maybe a Jaden Reed in the third. We just had Jaden Reed question in there. Like I'll pay that for Tyler Lockett all day. Like I will. I'm just interested to see like if he does take a step back, how much it is, if any.
So I think I think he's going to be a little more boom or bust, which is hard to believe because he's been that. But I think the volume week to week may not be as secure because you get JSN, you get DK, right? Here's what I'll say though. I think that the league is very dependent for me on like in best ball. Man, I've been trying to get as much cheap Tyler Lockett as humanly possible in those type leagues. I think the fact that you now have 3 people as receivers that a defense has to worry about, I think just the way Lockett's career has always gone, he ends up getting plays where he's either beat deep or he beats someone deep and it's kind of gets lost in the sauce, so to speak. I think you're going to see even more of that this year where he gets big plays happening. It may not come, the volume may not come as often, but I think you're going to see him have plenty of huge, deep touchdowns like you normally are accustomed to seeing for Lockett. So, yeah, he's definitely underrated. I just think format dependent. Like in lineup start 9, not that I don't want him. It's just going to be a lot harder to constantly start him in a league like that. So, I think that's my answer for Lockett.
I like it. Yep.
All right, so in the middle of a 12-team, 2 quarterback PPR, 2 tight end, 1 point tight end premium startup. If it's 1 point tight end premium, is that a thing or is that just like regular? I don't know.
Could be.
Is it, or does that mean that it's 2 point per catch? I'm not actually sure.
This is something the fantasy community, the dynasty community's got to get better at. Yeah. Is picking is when you list.
What's the universal list?
Is it the bonus or the total? Like right. we gotta figure out one or the other. We can't keep jumping back and forth. Do better, fantasy community.
It's 2 point. Oh, so there you go. It's a 2 point PPR for the tight end, right? So it's okay. Love it. So we got Watson, Kyler, Tannehill, Baker. I'm fine with that quarterback room. You definitely would rather have someone than Kyler here, but it's good enough. There are 5 other managers that don't even have a quarterback 3. That's another good point. What would you sell Baker Tanny for? Price of the brick gone up. I'm gonna, Mike. I want to hear your point, but I'll be honest. Part of the thing here is Baker and Tannehill in a league. So just think about it this way, Mr. Wonderful. These are guys in best ball, probably relative to what they're going to cost on the market. I'd rather have on my contending teams because they're cheap. They're not going to go for a bunch, and I'd rather backfill a few of those so that I have some, depth when needed, bye weeks, injuries, whatever happens. What are you going to sell them for? Mike, you can take the question. I think you're going to have a hard time truthfully selling them for the player that you want or the pick that you really want.
If it's a lineup league, good luck to you. You probably aren't going to be able to sell them for anything worth a shit, to be honest. You got to find that one buyer in a lineup league who's like, I'm going to tear down off of a very good third quarterback, like a very good third quarterback to get a skill player plus a Tandy, a Baker, like something like that.
He says he's a solid contender.
Best ball league? Yeah, I'm probably just keeping him on my roster. You might once you like get in season and attrition hits, or if something really bad happens in training camp to some of these guys, you might be able to get something out of them, but it's not going to be very high. They're not the sexiest assets. They're not the same. They're old. They're old, and they're not that great. Right? That's the problem with them. That's the problem with them. They're kind of like, I'm not gonna say kind of like, because Travis Kelce's fucking elite, but he's so old. Okay, well, Travis Kelce's like so old. This is what we always say about him. He's worth more on your team than he is on somebody else's team. Like the price that somebody would pay you for him. If I was really gonna do it because it's a 2 tight end with that tight end premium, like I might sell him because I don't need a quarterback back, right, in best ball. Like I don't mind having, what's he got, 4 of them? Like that's actually pretty good for best ball. That's really good roster construction for best ball.
Sure is.
Like I probably want to hold them, but if somebody was to give me like 2 tight ends with these scoring settings, I know I'm kind of like anti tight end, but it's a start 2 tight end best ball with a full point premium. If you gave me like 2 tight ends in that like 20 to 32 range, we could have a conversation. I'll sell a quarterback and not take one back for 2 of those guys, just because I feel like it fills a need. I have to start 2 of them. I have to. And it's best ball. I don't give a shit. Just give me guys who potentially could make my lineup in those spots. So I might do that. Adam. Those would be kind of the guys. So like, for example, I would take give me a Gesicki and a Gerald Everett. Like, how about those for 2 tight ends back?
Yeah.
And you can have a Tannehill or you can have a Baker.
I mean, I would probably consider that for Baker. I think is same for Tannehill. They're basically the same. I'd lean Tannehill, but it's the same.
I would much rather have Tannehill than Baker, right?
I think I'd be more comfortable selling Baker for that, just because again, like those guys are going to give you Everett, especially as long as he's tied to an offense like the Chargers, potential spike weeks, consistency weeks in best ball, and this means a lot. It's just the problem there is it's. You're probably going to end up stuck with those assets, truthfully. But I don't mind it. The problem is, and Mike's kind of alluding to that with the deal you take, these guys are not going to command much in tradability. So, like, I think you got to be more choosy with trading these guys because you're not going to break someone over. Someone's not going to bend the knee, to here. All right, I need Baker. It's not going to happen. So you just got to be careful with trading them away too light because they might be better off just being your quarterback 4, honestly. We got a super chat from Charles Cunningham. Love your work. 12-team Superflex, start 10, half-point tight end premium. He's in the middle of a startup draft. He traded a 2nd, 3rd, 5th for a 1st, 8th, and 10th. Got Burrow, A-Chain, Roshan compared to Tua, Brees, Javante. Loving the process trades. He also says, and Mike, go Huskers.
Son of a bitch, man, just super chatted. Damn near $15 just to kick me in the balls.
I'll tell you what, Charles.
Thanks, Charles.
Charles, if you love our work, I love you being on the show. I love what you're doing here. I'm a Ohio State guy. I could care less about the Huskers, but I just love that came at Mike's throat. I'm gonna leave it under his.
Don't lie to the people. You forget being an Ohio State fan that Nebraska's even in the fucking Big Ten. Right?
No, it's just you got to go back to the days of Crouch. So it's been a long time to care. They weren't even in the Big Ten back then.
They've been so fucking irrelevant in the Big Ten, you don't even realize they're still in there.
The last time they were relevant, they were not in the Big Ten. Let's say that.
You think it's an out-of-conference game every single year that you play them.
I'm more worried about playing Nebraska than ever. I'm just like, don't let this be the week that we screw up. Ohio State's always going to screw 1 week up.
Oh man, don't let us lose to Appalachian State.
Don't be that guy.
No. So Tua, Brees, Javonte. That's actually a pretty decent return. But oh man, Burrow
versus Tua is too big of a gap here.
Yeah. This isn't best balls. Yeah, this is. I love Tua, man. I'm really high on Tua. A lot of people aren't. So the fact that I don't know, would this guy take him in the second, third round? Probably had to be in the.
So Brees would have went second.
You think so?
I think so. I think Brees would have went second, and then
Brees in the second,
Tua would have went third, and then Javonte would have went fifth. Yeah. Well, also, hold on. Remember, though, he got those picks back. So he didn't necessarily have to draft him with the picks he traded for. He could have used his own different spots, too. But I
still love the process of it. Like,
no, never mind. This is what the picks are because he gave what the picks, the trade. This is what the trade is, yeah. So he did use those.
Yeah, I like this. I always like going to get into who was the other, just by, you traded away your second, and you took Burrow with that pick. Who was the other quarterback you paired him with?
That's a great question. Charles, what was your other quarterback that you got in the first round?
It's interesting here. Jesus, getting Burrow here is ridiculous. What, you had to trade up to the 104? 105 at worst?
Yeah, but here's the thing. Like it would have been 104, I'd imagine. Maybe even you got to figure it's at least 104.
There's still like a Herbert or two floating out there. You know what I mean? Like after that contract. There's still people. It's Joey B, but I get it.
I'm not the biggest like A-Chain and Roshan guys too.
You said T-Law. So Burrow.
Burrow and T-Law that is
shit.
Creme
Enjoy
de la
your
creme.
Tua, Brees, Javonte, son. I'm just gonna move on with my Burrow and T-Law. You have a nice night.
Well done. I'll tell you what, man. I'm glad that the trade worked out for you because being a Huskers fan is probably not as fun.
Come on, man. Don't kick him in the balls. He gave us $15.
I'm just playing with the guy, man. You made a great trade. That's one thing you can hang your hat on. That was a great trade. Your team, if you have start 10, though, real quick. If you have start 10, you have T-Law and Burrow.
Yes.
You're going to have a hard time screwing stuff up, man. So, well done.
Yeah, you let everybody else run the risk of making sure Brees and Javonte bounce back.
We got another super chat here. Superflex tight end premium start 10 as well. Dotson in a 24 third or Sanders in a 24 second, Mike?
Start 10, I will take Sanders in the second.
Same.
I'm probably going to be able to start Miles Sanders at some given point just the way running back attrition goes. Start 10, I could probably sneak Dotson in there. It's just a little more questionable, and then I get the better pick. By far and away the better pick in the second.
Yeah, so I mean, Dotson in this type of a format, and even I don't really care what the scoring or WoRP looks like. He's probably one of the receivers that I would rather get off of because I'm not going to have enough weeks to start him. So I'd want more than a second, but if you tell me that I get the Sanders side and a second, and I can go use that second to go get another running back, I'd rather do that than have Dotson in the third here personally. Yeah. Charles came back with another super chat, 5 ships. Charles, what you don't want to do though, since these were like, Mike, how long ago was it? I mean, is this guy? You think this guy was alive or no?
Oh, well, it's not. He probably watches on like Betamax or something, like Dallas Cowboy fan.
But what you don't want to do, this is one of the things like with money, right? What you don't want to do is keep spending good money after bad, right? So the titles ain't coming anymore. Those days are over.
They finally got at Iowa after, what was that, seven wins in a row versus Nebraska. They finally got us this year. So
you did not like that at all, right?
Not after that. I wanted 8, 9, 10. Let's get to double.
That one hurt,
digits.
didn't it?
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
But, we're still a better wrestling program, better basketball program. They had to take an Iowa State reject over there as their basketball coach, so it's fine. It's okay.
Scott wants to let us know he sent Jacoby Brissett in 3:24 seconds for Brock Purdy and a 24 third.
Yuck.
Roast or boast?
I love you, Scott, but that's horrible. Why would you invest in a shitty Iowa State Cyclone? That guy's fucking horrible.
We already know what Mike was going to say.
What a fucking steal for the guy who got all the seconds in Brissett. He got a free Jacoby Brissett. He got a free 3:24 seconds. I would have taken Jacoby Brissett straight up.
I mean,
what a steal.
I would say it feels heavy sending all those seconds, but at the same time, lineup start 11. I guess it depends what his market value becomes. I think if he's starting, you could probably trade him for much more later. Like any quarterback that you can buy that's young enough for seconds is fine. But
listen, I want to be player agnostic, but not with that fucking trash can.
Mike has kind of admitted that he won't be. There's, you see how upset. Listen, you see how upset he is about Nebraska. Now, just think about how upset he's going to be when it's an Iowa State guy. You can kind of already see this.
I at least respect Nebraska. They've done something.
So, all right, we had a question here that I wanted to get to. Oh, here we go, Mike. This is actually an interesting question. What would need to happen for Gibbs to surpass Brees, JT, Bijan, and market value? Well, like JT, just off of age, I don't think all that much necessarily. As much as I still think JT's gonna be great, but I just think his market value is getting less and less because of age. I'll say this: to pass Brees, it would need to have Brees, I think, more of like really start slow and not do much this year, and then you have a real conversation for that. For Gibbs to pass Bijan, though, Gibbs is going to have to be like, I think, kind of like looking like CMC in his second year was for that to come. Just Bijan Robinson, I don't think is getting past in market in near soon at all. I really don't see it.
Yeah, I mean Bijan would kind of have to be like, let's just say, I don't know the scenario, but like Bijan was like RB15, okay, on the year, decent enough for the year, but right. RB15.
But if his RB15 probably has like some very nice highlight plays and gets people probably still excited, probably right? Does. Yep.
But what if Gibbs was like RB3?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. For him to be RB3, he's going to probably look like that.
Yeah.
He's going to start looking like CMC did in like the second year.
Unless Gibbs is top 5, I don't think he's passing Bijan.
That's what I'm saying. And the reason I was using McCaffrey.
Something catastrophic happened to Bijan. You know what I mean? Like he had a horrible year, or, knock on even this fake wood right here that this desk is. Knock on this fake, I don't know what the hell it is. It ain't wood. Knock on this shit. An injury. Let me just say those words: an injury, a bad injury. I don't think it's happening. But hey, if Gibbs is RB3, right, like a top 5 running back, and Bijan's like outside the top 10, I can see it happening because Gibbs is so damn dynamic. If he's already up that high, he's going to have a boatload of fucking highlights, through the ground and the air.
But I mean, I think for that to happen, realistically, and I really like Gibbs, I think he's going to have to get a ton of passing work. He's going to have
to be just DeAndre Swift from a couple years ago, right? DeAndre Swift before.
He's going to have, I think, 60 minimum catches, probably pushing closer to 80. Like, honestly.
He's like Alvin Kamara-esque, right? He's kind of going to have that kind of split.
Yeah.
Yeah. Break off some highlights.
And even to the point of injury, because I think I agree with you, but at the same time, Mike, like look at Breece Hall. Breece Hall, who was he? Breece Hall, after that injury, and we aren't even sure how he's going to be this year, he's only behind Bijan. Like, there's asset value, there's value retention in those running backs because they're so different.
Passing JT or Breece, like, I'm not going to say it's a given, but it feels like something that could very likely happen. Very, very, very likely happen. Like I see a scenario. The Bijan one is a little bit tougher just because of where he's starting versus Gibbs is up there, but Bijan's just kind of on that little bit of different level. And I don't know. Like, Bijan's got to be bad. And Gibbs has to be really good. Gibbs over JT. Holy shit.
I mean,
Scott's out for my neck today. I love it.
I like this, though. Noah says, I have 5 24 firsts and 2 25 firsts and a start 11. Half-point format, not ready to contend with my QBs on my squad being T-Law, A-Rich, Howell, and Mac Jones. Why can't T-Rich or T-Law and A-Rich and then Mac Jones as quarterback 3 be a contender? I wouldn't necessarily punt just because those are your quarterbacks personally.
Well, maybe the rest of his squad's bad.
Right, but
he's got no wide receivers.
The way I'm reading this is not ready to contend with my quarterbacks on my squad being maybe it's the rest, but I think the quarterbacks are fine here personally. Like, I'm not punting because of the QBs in the start 11. What kind of moves would you be looking to make is the next line? So
if his
I would need to know the rest. If you could, in another chat, put like some of your skill players, put the rest of your team to kind of give us an idea.
Like why you think you're not, because it definitely ain't the QB room why you're not able to contend. Like this
and maybe,
is good enough.
Maybe it's to the point that you're making because you have 7 future first, right? 5 of your own. You've traded away all those other pieces, and that's fine.
Yes.
Rest of the squad is Dookie. All right, fair enough. So, and that makes a ton of sense now. I mean, what kind of moves are you looking to make? I think without knowing the skill players, you're liquidating all the skill players that are Dookie that get any bump in value that give you seconds. Like liquidate those types. Sam Howell, anyone willing to buy, he's gone. I think even Rich for the right price, he could go.
Oh, Rich, I would sell high. If anyone wants to give you 2 firsts and a second or anything better than that, gone. Just de-risk yourself easily. I don't care, if it's 225 first and a 25 second. Just I'm good. Gone. I'm good. Just going to de-risk myself. I'm not competing. Don't really care. Mac Jones is, at least in my opinion, like I want to wait to sell Mac Jones until his value rebounds when people fucking hate him. I want him to see like 2-3 games without Matt Patricia, Joe Judge calling plays, just to be like, oh yeah, Mac is kind of good at football. Like everything from his rookie year and how highly efficient he was. Surprise. You don't have a defense coordinator and a special teams fucking punt gunner coordinator, whatever the fuck Joe Judge did for the Patriots back in the day. Calling offensive plays. I'm in. Yeah, but I would sell Mac Jones at the first sign of like rebound, right? As soon as that value goes back up, because he ain't in my long-term plans. T-Law, I would sell him, but like you got to pay me full boat. Like on a rebuilder, if I ain't going nowhere, I'm good holding on to him. So yeah, and then like Adam said, any of those crusty Dookie vets that get a value bump, like, hey, look at Clyde Edwards-Helaire just scored 2 touchdowns in week 1. See ya. Like any second is yours, fellas. I don't give a shit. 2026. Take all the CH you want. And I'm just looking to blow this completely up.
Well, here's his team. JSN, Elijah Moore, Bateman. RBs are literally Akers, and then it's Fant, Higbee, Laporta. This isn't that terrible, man. Now the receiver room is going to be what keeps it. The receiver room keeps it away, right? Like JSN can't be your 1, Dotson can't be your 2, but I'm looking to liquidate honestly Dotson, Elijah Moore, and Bateman if possible. I think Akers has to go if you're not ready to compete because I love the guy, but you got to get value out while he's a running back that's going to. I think you could probably get 2 seconds personally for Akers. I don't foresee the days even unless he's really smashing that you get a first anymore. I think that's long gone.
What about like the 40 players? A 24 second and 225 thirds, something like that.
Sure.
And you're kicking the can down the road on the thirds for 2025 when you want to buy running back starts, right? Nobody thinks about them now. They don't give a shit. They just throw them in.
I would see if you could go 24, get a 24 second and a 25 second, and throw in a third or a fluff one of these Dookie players back to make them feel a little better. Go ahead and get those 2 seconds, Yeah.
You love Cam Akers.
Yeah, I love
you love Cam Akers, so you think you can get 2 seconds for him. I'm telling you.
Well, you can't right now, but I think that there's a scenario when he starts off the year playing like he did at the end of last year, you can get 2 seconds for the guy. Absolutely. Yeah, especially kicking the can down the road.
Elijah Moore, second, gone. Bateman, second, gone. Dotson, I'm probably not just selling just for a second. Like I need a second plus. Otherwise, I'd just hold on to him.
Yeah, that's fair.
How Mac Jones gone, Cam Akers gone, easily. Yeah, I'm with you.
We got here.
It's not horrible though. I thought it was going to be like god awful. Like my running backs are Rashad Penny and fucking Kenneth Gainwell.
Scott says he can be top 5 running back on less than 150 carries. I agree. Scott, don't you think, though, that he's going to need to have a very good amount of receiving work in order to make that happen? I think he can be efficient, but I think he definitely needs a lot of receiving work to get to the top 5 discussion.
Can he be a top 5? I mean, Tony Pollard had more than 150 carries last year and was pretty damn efficient and wasn't a top 5 running back in points per game.
I think he can. I think top 5 is about the ceiling though. Like that's obviously.
I guess Pollard also only had like 39 receptions or something like that. It was under 40.
Yeah, so he didn't get a ton of passing work, honestly.
Yeah, so I guess if Gibbs is getting like 60, 70 catches, that's attainable. I get it. Yeah, 150. It could be 150 carries and like 70 receptions. Could be top 5. He'll score some touchdowns though.
Yep, I'm with you. I think I think that Gibbs has a chance to get there. I will say I don't foresee top 5. I'm not like – I think it's possible. I'm definitely not projecting it, though, if that makes sense. If he's a top 5 running back this year, Mike is going to be completely unbearable. I don't think he's going to pass Bijan, but I think that you will see him in the top 3 running back discussion of Dynasty for sure.
So, like a perfect world for me, Eagles win the Super Bowl. Iowa, finally wins a Big Ten championship. Jahmyr Gibbs is a top five running back on the year. What else do I need to go right?
Well, I'll tell you what, Mike, you don't want to do that because
Trey Lance is the starting quarterback for the entire year. And Aaron Rodgers sucks, so they bench him for Zach Wilson. Ta-da!
Mike,
I just hit the jackpot.
All right, so I was going to say that is the jackpot, Mike, because I don't know that you want that to happen because you know what that means? The rest of your existence was used in the 23 year, and you don't have anything good coming your way. It's all bad downhill from there.
That's fine.
That would check every Mike box that's possible. All right, we got a super chat here. Mike Diaz. Mike Diaz throwing Mike a super chat. 12 teams, start 10 PPR. Dynasty Daddy's number 2 contender. I traded Freiermuth, my 24 first, Ty Chandler, Mike's favorite guy, and Deneric Prince. Man, you're getting rid of these like deep dive running backs. Any running back on a 53 style for Kelsey. Then he traded Devontae Smith for Hollywood and a 25-101 bad manager. Thoughts? Okay, so wait, let me just do the math on this. You lose Freiermuth, your own 24 first, and the 2. That Freiermuth deal is ridiculously cheap for Kelsey. I'm good. 1,000% good there. Here's my question, Mike. Is this? I mean, if this is truly the 101, like if you can guarantee me it's a top 3 pick in 25, I think it's probably still worth it for Devontae Smith. That's the only one that I have a little bit of a harder time with, unless you know for damn sure that pick is super early and locked in. Because Devontae Smith's hard to trade away from me.
First part is Freiermuth and a first and some shit at running back, right? These kind of guys you hope to buy for a third. Fuck, I don't even know if Ty Chandler costs you a third. Deneric Prince sure as fuck don't cost you a third. I'm good with that. Travis Kelce is a game changer WoRP-wise. No question about it. This format, I don't even know. There's no tight end premium. Doesn't matter. Travis Kelce is even more of a game changer. No tight end premium. That part you smashed out of the gates. Like it's out of the park. It's gone. The Smitty for the Hollywood and the 25-101. Adam, if it was a best ball league, I would do it. We all kind of know those guys who are like absolutely units. Unit in a bad way. They're horrible at Dynasty. Mm-hmm. You and I have both run into them, and we joke about them, off air.
Oh, yeah.
Private.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this guy's always horrible. I would do that because in a best ball, I'm going to maximize whatever Marquise Brown gives me every single time. And I'm making the bet that it's even 60, 70, 80% of what Devontae Smith does. In a lineup league, I don't do this. Like, I'm good. I will try to get their 25-101 some later time. Like I got 2 years to get this fucking pick. Like I'll wait. I want to go win the championship. I just made the move for Kelsey. But in a best ball, I'm more likely to do it now because it is like I can do it now. I can do it. And I'm just betting on Hollywood Brown. I don't like it in a lineup league, though. I really don't.
Yeah, I mean, I think it depends on understanding your league here. It's hard to speak to a trade like this without like understanding that concept, because I think this is what I'll say. If this is a league where you getting that 101 or that what people now view as a very early first in the 25 class, you may not love getting rid of Smith, but you get Hollywood back. He's definitely not in this format of start 10 nearly as valuable. But if this is one of those leagues where now because you have that and they know how bad that manager is and that pick gets you to the table of something totally different, like a truly elite player, that I think is where that trade makes sense, Mike. So, for example, if you know now that you have that first, you can attach that to something else and get to the elite quarterback table or get to the elite receiver table, I'm a lot more comfortable with the trade. Because I think you need to know that for me ahead of time, like have an idea that that's how my league values that pick. Because what I don't want to actually do, Mike, is wait all the way through next season and the following season to actually draft whoever the top 3 pick is. Not that you can't. It's just when I'm looking at acquiring Kelsey, I want to use this pick now to get back into the elite discussion of players. So if you're in that type of a league where you have league mates that are going to value that pick accordingly and can do that, I'm all aboard that trade. If it's not that way, I'm much more hesitant to make the deal, if that makes sense.
I get you. Yep, I'm with you.
All right.
First part's a smash, so.
Oh, I mean, buying Kelsey for firing within a first, because that's really what that is just.
And here, have this shit.
Crazy, man. Have
these guys.
I mean, I picked up Deneric Prince. It feels like not all that long ago. It probably is more longer than I think for fab money. Like, if I'm trading him in any of the deals that are to get an elite guy, I'm happy. 10 teams, start 12, Mike's favorite, single quarterback. Are we accepting a 24 mid to late first for Jahan Dotson lineup? Yeah.
No.
10 team?
No.
Yeah.
Good.
Really?
Good.
I'm doing it.
Good.
Okay. I mean, you're telling me I have a chance at a top 5-6 guy here? Yes. Dotson for me in this format.
Who's your top 5-6 guy at single quarterback, Adam, next year?
Running backs that are going to matter. Like, in a league like this, I mean, Rocket Sanders could be there. Absolutely.
What if he's not good?
What if he's not good? What if Jahan Dotson's not good?
What if it's just Marvin Harrison Jr.?
I'll put it like this. Let me explain it to you like this. I think that I could hold and draft a player that has more value. And also, I think that just if it's truly more of a mid to late, that's going to get me more in a trade at some point than will Jahan Dotson in this format. I mean, I'm not going to hate you if you stay put. I just think that Jahan Dotson in this league is not a needle mover, and I can maybe use this pick to get something that's a needle mover.
We got a split decision here.
Fuck them.
Fuck them mid picks in a 1 QB league. Who cares?
There you go. And I'll tell you what I know about a 10-team 1 QB. Only because I get asked this every day by my coworker who sits right across from me. You know who I give I don't know if I care about Rocket Sanders or Braylon Allen or these guys yet. I'll tell you who I know I don't care about in this league. I'll tell you who I know I don't care about. Audience, you already know who I'm talking about.
Brock Bowers?
Yes.
I knew it.
Jahan Dotson, baby. Get him the fuck out of here. Get him out of here.
Come on.
No one wants Jahan Dotson in this league.
You do that to Penn State guy? Just because he played at Penn State, you hate him. I get it.
Has nothing to do with that.
Has everything to do with that. On to you.
I'd rather have a Cornhusker. 12-team, half PPR.
Smells like haterade.
No, there's no way I get the haterade after all the ranting and raving you've done against every team that's in the Big Ten tonight. 12-team, half PPR, Superflex, start 10. So Devontae Smith and Elijah Mitchell for Pickens, A-Chain, and a 24 first. Likely not a playoff team, but not a dumpster. Well, I mean, so it's a mid pick. So you sold Devontae Smith and Elijah Mitchell for Pickens, A-Chain, and a mid 24 first in a Superflex league. Start 10. I got A-Chain over Mitchell. I got
oh, Jesus, no shit.
Well, no, I'm just when I break this trade down, I go A-Chain over Mitchell, and then I'll still take the first and Pickens over Smith. So I'll take that side.
You took the easiest fucking I got A-Chain over it. Come on.
I'm just giving you you got to break the deal down. I'll take A-Chain. You win that, and then you win the first and Pickens over Smith in my mind in this league. I'll take it.
I'm fucking dying, man. I'll take A-Chain over Elijah Mitchell.
If he says it's likely not a playoff team, I'll take that over Smith with Pickens coming back because I can move him too.
All right.
It's tougher though.
I'm with you.
It's tougher though. I don't like selling Smitty in a lot of these leagues,
and especially because I think GP's a little bit overvalued. But you throw that first in there, that makes it for me. Like I'm going, okay, I can see it. And then you started off with the easy one, but A-Chain's so far over Elijah Mitchell that I don't give a shit. I'm taking the A-Chain side easily.
The only thing that is tough about this one is like I just want those liquid picks, and especially ones that are going to be from non-playoff teams. So like it's hard for me not to take that there. But if you end up not being able to move that, you may not love getting rid of Smith. So it's a little tougher for me there. I could see either side.
I'm okay with it. I'll take it.
Yeah.
Like, it's nice that you got A-Chain like worked into there, right? That's the medicine. If
Are
it
we
was
selling?
Smith, then
No, Noah, do not do this. This is what you don't do.
Please
what I don't want to do is just re-roll a guy that's now become a top 10 tight end for the pick that I took him in probably this year. So you're just giving a re-roll in time decay with getting no big bump in value.
It'd be like re-rolling Laporta into Jatavian Sanders. I like Sanders a lot.
Love him too.
I like Laporta too, but they're going to end up going in like the same range. So don't do that. You're just killing time. That's all you're doing.
There's just no reason to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right. Let's get a couple more, Mike, and then we'll bounce out of here, buddy. Can't wait for all those starry-eyed rookie hunters to trade their Pitts, Kelce's, and Andrews straight up for Brock Bowers.
Oh.
I tell you what, Kelce might actually happen because going into next year, like someone might be willing to say, "Fuck it, I've gotten everything I needed out of Kelce, and I'm ready to re-roll." Right. Andrews, and Pitts for him straight up would be madness to me.
It really is going to depend on whether Kelce hooks up with Taylor Swift or not. Like if that becomes a thing, right?
If that's official,
if he pulls T Sizzle. Like if he can pull T Sizzle, like he's done playing football. It's over, right? This year would be his last year, so you could see it. If he like the Gronkowski thing, he might come back. No, man, he's with Taylor Swift. He's done. It's over.
Yeah, it's over. It's over. I mean, I like what Simon's saying though. I think you're gonna see some. Yeah. If we're seeing Kincaid at tight end 5, wait till you see what Bowers is. My goodness, it's gonna be. Honestly, like it's probably gonna get me upset how high he's going.
If Kincaid was like a guy that nobody was talking about, came out of nowhere, right? Brock Bowers has been here for the last 2 years.
But let's talk about this real quick though, because Kincaid going to be with Josh Allen, I think, is what makes it first round, first tight end off the board, beating Mayer off the board, and then also being in the connection with Josh Allen. I think that's what really all of those things, boom, rise them up. If Bowers gets a landing spot with a quarterback that's one of these top 10, 12 guys that you like, it's going to be mad. It's going to be Mike, I'm not telling you it's right. I'm telling you it's going to be mayhem.
I want Ray's head to explode when Dallas takes him on the draft stream. Like he would be just fucking I want to see it. Brock Bowers to Dallas. Dak Prescott, the way they use tight ends, I think Ray'd fall out of his chair.
I'm trying to think like realistically.
I'm ready. My body's ready for it.
I'm ready. Let's see. I'm trying to think of a couple like really spicy landing spots. So
Justin Herbert, Chargers.
I was gonna say Everett goes. The Chargers take him. If the Cincinnati takes him.
Oh, Brock Bowers and Joe Burrow. Oh no!
You imagine what people are gonna be doing?
Yeah, and in all reality, he'll wind up somewhere that we just like. Oh, this sucks. This sucks.
Like Dallas.
He's in Tampa Bay with Kyle Trask. Last man standing because they won too many games because their defense was not that ass. This blows.
Watch him go to a team that already has a tight end kind of there too. Like watch him go to like Minnesota.
Oh yeah, Brock Bowers and TJ Hawkins. Damn it.
Right? People would love that.
Oh yeah.
There's only probably a few spots though that get you just like Cincinnati, the Chargers. Those would be the two front runners, I think. After that, like you're having a hard time making the case that makes you go, holy crap, can you believe it?
Right.
So
well, he's kind of small, so like what if he wound up in like Tennessee?
Boom.
Right.
Will Levis to the moon.
Will Levis to Brock Bowers. Let's go. Sorry about your Chico-Quanquo shares.
Oh no, Bowers to the Chiefs. Then people will really be trading Kelce for Bowers.
Right. This is a replacement.
We were just a little early on Noah Gray. Now we got Brock Bowers, right?
Well, this makes sense when Travis Kelce retires because he's dating T Sizzle.
Yeah, he's like, all right, I'm gonna walk off one more title.
I love it.
I can see it.
I love it.
I think that's I'll tell you what. We'll get Dynasty Alex's question, and this will be the last one before we get out of here, Mike. All right. 12-team PPR start 10, 2 quarterback, 2 tight end, best ball 1.75 tight end premium, 0.25 points per carry, 6-point passing touchdown. Giving AR-15 and Smitty, getting Mac, Gibson 24 first. Look at Mike's face. Look at that face.
There's a lot of guys that I love.
A lot of guys you love. Mike, hold on. A lot of guys you love. Let me just say the get side, that's
like Mike's
team. He's got the sword on every one of these guys.
Dynasty Alex, did I send you this offer? can't remember.
There's five guys and a pick that Mike loves, all in this deal.
I want the AR-15 and Smitty side. So my reasoning behind it is Gibson in a 24 first or Devontae Smith. I don't know where that 24 first is, but we just say random. I probably want Smith in a lineup start 10. Oh, it's a best ball. Shit.
I was going to say, okay, good. I was getting ready to say you were going that quick on it. Was kind of surprising me.
I'm so sorry. It's a best ball. It changes everything. So this is a great point, Adam.
I know.
The lineup league, I want AR-15 and Smitty.
AR-15 and Smitty in a mile and a lineup start 10. Yes. Best ball start 10.
I'm rolling Mac, Gibson, and a 24 first.
Are you sure, though, on that? All right.
I'm positive.
Okay.
Positive.
I think Gibson honestly makes it a little more blurry for me because, like, Gibson's one of these guys that I know I love. I know I love and I want him, but I don't think he adds enough market value to the deal to where, like, I know where my heartstrings are tugged. Does that make sense? Like, yes. I don't think Gibson has the market value that I feel like he has, and he adds that to this deal, and it makes me want that side. I'll say this. The three assets of Mac, Gibbs, and a first, if I'm going to take the get side, I just need to know that I have a really good quarterback. So if I have a top like 12, 15 quarterback already, I actually like to get Mac as my quarterback 3 on best ball teams all the time. I love doing that. I'm very comfortable, I think, in that scenario doing it. But let's say I'm getting Mac, and now my quarterback room is going to be looking more like Mac Jones, Tannehill, Howell, these types. I don't think I can do it.
Jay Jackson never
what do you got?
ceases to make me laugh. Gibbs, son. He never ceases to make me laugh. Right?
I love it, man. I love
Discord, YouTube chat, AMA. He's always right there just to got it. I love it. And if we were in Discord, you'd follow it with like that dog.
The dog. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, guaranteed. You follow it with that gift. Yeah, I'm taking in best ball. I'm taking that side. I'm gonna roll it out with Gibbs' son, the 24 first and Mac, and then I'll see what Mac and that 24 first can buy as far as quarterback.
All right, man. I love it. I see we didn't get to every single question. We tried to get to a majority of them, but we got to hop off here. I got some more recording to do after this. Mike and I recorded the trade show before this. Would love to keep kicking it with you guys. If you're in the Patreon and you have questions that were unanswered, make sure you put them in the Discord. I promise we'll get to them there. If you ask questions in here we didn't get to, go ahead and throw it to us at Twitter or join patreon.com/South Harmon. $1 a month gets you in the door. You can ask us questions anytime. Yep. Do that. But Mike, man, always fun kicking it with you. What do you got? Go ahead.
Hold my feet to the fire, right? I'll make the proclamation right here so I can't back out. Friday night, if you're interested, I'm going to be doing draft slot 103 in the startup series. Gonna get it done. So if I make the proclamation on air, I have to do it. I can't disappoint you all. I tell Adam in private, I'm gonna do it this day, and then I take 2 Benadryl and pass out. So I'm telling you right now, Friday night, come check it out. I'll probably do it 8:30 my time. I'll let you know, but it will be done Friday night 103. You want to come check that out? Kick it on a Friday night for 30 minutes. Tell me I'm an idiot. Whatever. Just want to see you. And then go check out the website, southharmonff.com, minewarp.com. The pre-order is out, baby. The pre-order is out. Scott was in here asking questions, just jamming it into me. I love it.
I like the dynamic of Scott coming in here. He has a little Bruning feel to it, where he comes in just kind of really trying to put the knife in Mike. I like it.
He comes in swinging every time. I love it.
I think he kind of is trying to spark some entertainment. I love seeing that out of him.
He just wants that bro hug that I give him at the expo, just to be like the one that squeezes the life out of him.
The big bear hug. Let the big bear get his paws on you.
Smell this beard.
We love y'all. We'll see you next week on AMA. Peace.
See y'all. Peace.